Hello, hello, hello. This is your man, Nicholas Shephard from the Shephard Enterprise, Business Administration and Information Systems Consultant. Because what happens is that, not saying that anyone can mimic what I'm doing, but there are some novices out there that will try to utilize the information I have to launch off whatever they have. And I just want to make sure that everything I have is in place before anything like that happens, okay? Because once I capitalize on it and they use it, and then all the thing, it won't be a big issue because people take documentation and implement certain things from no matter what the source may be and utilize it as a rule in their organization administrative processes. Okay, and that's only shared internally, so no one outside of the company will actually see it. So what I'm doing now is just trying to implement something so that I know and the personnel knows that are working with me that this information should not be shared, okay, via internet, anything like that, or shared anything. But if they do see it and it's without our prior approval, to let us know by sending us an email and giving us an topic the way we have here, and let them know there has been a violation. Okay, so we can pretty much find out where the information was leaked, and then we can go about rectifying that part. Okay. So what we're doing basically right now, we're doing some factoring in our processes and try to figure out exactly how we should get things done. Okay. And while we're doing this, of course, there are going to be a lot of different steps we're going to take and a lot of different tools we're going to be using in order to make this happen. But what we're doing basically right now, we're trying to uh, gather enough information so that we can keep the ball rolling, okay, as far as our, our business processes, okay. So the first thing I want to do, I want to go over my document, okay, my business document, okay, project document. And in my project document, um, what we're doing right now, um, we are trying to implement some things that we were working on um, in months past. Okay. And what I've noticed is that as I was trying to accumulate some type of structure balance in what I was doing, I needed some personnel that would be willing to help me and assist me whenever I decide that, okay, I need some other person's input. Okay. So, in doing this, all right, I needed to come up with some type of ideal, right? Um, the ideal is basically saying, okay, um, I want to utilize your professional opinion to gather these factors. Okay, and which I have been doing in throughout the years. I have been utilizing persons' ideals in order to gain the momentum that I needed to succeed. Right. So what I needed to do was I said, okay, I'm doing this. I'm utilizing these people's, these individuals' ideals, and if they're working for me when I'm implementing these ideals in a way where that, of course, they're going to be modified, but they're modifying them in a way where the person I got the information from are aware that I use their ideal and they're being reimbursed for it. Okay, so what I decided to do before I do all this is create an award. Okay, and the award will be based on a lot of different factors. And that's what I'm coming up with right now. I'm gonna get with them and find out how can I go about doing this. Again, I'm gonna pull some of their expertise in it based on their level of knowledge. I may use it. I may use it as a rule to venture out and try to get other information so that I can implement it into my overall objectives. I may ask people other than them, but I want them to be the go to persons so that they will go out and then try to gain this information. Now, the only way this is going to happen, of course, I'm going to have to come up with some type of process, some type of strategy that I will send to them, and then they will use those strategies in sequence or however they feel would be beneficial to them to get the job done within the period of time that I needed. Okay. And they would be reimbursed for their time. Okay. So I have been bouncing information off of two individual administrative personnel um, that are basically on the management level and other either working for the government or working for other, well, actually both of them working for the government, but different facets of the government. And I have been utilizing their ideals, not consistently, but um, I've been working with them for about 10 years, okay, off and on. So I decided, I said, you know what, I've been really peeling off, different things from them and utilizing their ideals. So I said, maybe if I give them an award, something like that, and give them some type of uh, um, access to what I'm doing so that they can, you know, give me good, solid, information when I need it. And in this, of course, I'm not to create them. Well, I may not have to give them email addresses, based on my domain, because they're really not working for us. They're working outside of the company. But I may try to give them something they can work internally, right? And they be able to still transmit information to me, not utilizing their company's uh, domain, right? It would be they'll sign in to whatever domain environment that I'm using, and they will send an email based on that. Okay, so it would never be, they were utilizing their system to do that, this and that, what I'm saying. Everything would be done through my domain environment. Okay, so we be communicating that way. Not that they can't intercept anything like that, because with the technology they can intercept anything. Okay, but we're not trying to steal anyone else's administrative process. We're just trying to get an ideal how to make things work. Okay, because what AI is going on, it's like it's really, killing the new entrepreneurs trying to get into the game. Okay, because there's a lot of information they need to learn and strategies. Now they're trying to make it look simple, but it's not simple because if you don't know how to put this information together, I don't care what you do. You just have to have the intelligence to do it, and you have to have the time and the patience, man. The stuff is not like, you know, I have a lot of things on my plate, right? And there's AI, and with AI, I looked at it. I was getting ready to go into it. And what happened is that I was like, well, you know what? Okay, you know, I'm going into AI, but then I'm looking at the fact that I just don't have the time, because my focus is on something totally different, And they said they try to say, okay, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, and by 2 months, 3 months, this and that, but it doesn't work that way. Okay, intelligence doesn't work that way, especially when you are an active administrative person engaged in multiple projects. Okay, you may utilize that 1 or 2 steps, but you know that one process may serve your purpose, and you may not use the other strategies that they given you. All right, you understand? So there might have to be a baseline how you go about learning AI, and you have to implement it in what you're doing today, and whatever suits you, you use it. Um, and if you have to go into the other phases of AI, you can go out and download those different applications, right? And you don't have to get a whole big package because I tried that, and it was a waste of money. Really, it was. I'm not talking about as far as the knowledge. Okay, I'm not talking about the knowledge. I'm talking about it's a waste of money as far as if you're going to try to do something, okay, and it's not benefiting you in your current occupation, and you're doing something, and you just, you have a passion for what you're doing, you're not going to go into AI like that. You're going to use it based on what you're doing and try to enhance your abilities to improve what you're doing. Okay. And you use AI to like help you with strategies to create a better process. All right. And what you're doing. Okay. Now that can be applied across all the AI domains. You understand? Depends on what you're trying to do. But it's like everything gets so commercialized so that there's no one-on-one communication because people don't want to talk to anybody. Man. Okay, COVID ensured that would happen ever again. People are starting. Most companies are starting to get back into the office, but people are more reluctant because they keep things uh, rolling out of scope. All right, to make people don't want to work in the office. Okay, they're making people afraid to work next to each other. Okay, so that's one of the reasons. Okay, they come up with AI. All right, so I'm gonna get back to what I was talking about. Okay, first of all, um, I have this project management um, meeting in dates and times. Okay, that I've been implementing, and I'm gonna scroll down. Okay, beyond what's going on, and the whole thing is that um, I've been working on a lot of different things. Okay, I've been, because I have been trying to put things together, and I have been putting things together, trying to do a lot of things. People can contact me, so I have a lot of stuff on my plate, and I really don't have anyone helping me. And when I can call people and this and that, but if they don't have access to what I'm doing, and they don't have they don't give me their dedicated time to process the information that I give them and research it and then compile it and then give it back to me in a structured way, then really they serve no purpose. Okay, you understand? So I've been working on a lot of different things. Basically, it was just my project management database and driving customers in through the database and creating a system where I can work it, and it forces me to go out and do some of the activities that is needed for me to obtain the knowledge and success I need in order to bring other members into my whole um, scope, all right, of strategies, okay? Because if you're not doing that, all right, if you're not doing that, what's going to happen is that you're gonna lose interest in what you're doing. Okay, seriously, you're gonna lose interest because you're gonna feel like, well, I was doing this, and I kind of like, got off track 'cause I had to do this, I had to do that, so you kind of pull away from it. I've been working with my business for like over 20, like over 30 years, okay? I'm going to say over 40 years, okay? Now, actively, I'm going to say, actively, I'm going to say like about 25 years, okay? But often, and it's working effectively, I can take that whole module and then I can push it into a different category, okay? And then start developing it with the latest technology. All right, if that's possible. Okay, but for right now, um, I'm utilizing the resources that I have, and this is self-contained. It's just for basically a small business that do not want, there's something that someone working from home and they just managing, like 5 or 6 projects, or they might have 5 or 6 clients and they're doing it because that's all they can manage. And if they have to hire some people, they may have like 5, 6 people, all right, working in their behalf. Okay, so which is a good number, right? Especially if the clients are paying you like $20,000 per month. Okay. standard may be the same, okay, at each award. And I'm not going to go off into a lot of different technologies and all the stuff like that. It's going to be an award, and it have to be um, very open ended, but the award be based on what they contributed. Okay, so we have to have factors, right? We have to develop factors in how much we're going to offer them for the time they've been working with us. Okay, because these individuals will be uh, um, like a consultant, right? Independent consultant working for themselves. Okay, and you know, they may have an occupation already, so they may work with me when they have time. Okay, so these awards can be based on time spent, time, completing the tasks I give them, and how much feedback I get back after they complete it. Put this on pause right quick, and then we'll go to the next. Okay, so what we have here, okay, the first thing we're going to do, okay, we're going to be going into um, the client accounts menu, or we're going to go into the consulting service menu, okay, whatever it may be. And in here, they will sign up the information, and then they will log in. Okay, there's no login right now because I haven't set it up that way yet. It's not necessary. Okay, then depending on the area they're assigned to, okay, they will be able to go in there. So here it's business administration, information system consultants, payment and marketing consultants, construction engineering, and contracting consulting. So we've got armed this and that. So whatever that, most of them are going to be want the business administration, information systems consulting, right? And then we will filter that information to the needed area. Okay, so they're going in here. And what happens is that once they go into here, all right, they'll go to assignments, okay? And when they go to assignments, they will look at exactly who is working for what, right? So they will go in here and they'll say, okay, we're going to run a work log and we want to find out exactly who's doing what, all right? So when I do run a work log, I click this, it's going to it will open up a report with all the different, this I haven't activated this yet. It open up a report for all the personnel or contractors or consultants that's working on something, and then we'll figure out exactly what direction we want to go with that. Okay, so now once we get that information there, okay, then we look at this right here, and then we document the time, everything like that. Figure out okay how long they've been working, on this project, what type of, all this stuff would be relevant. We'll look at this stuff right here, and the dates and everything like that, and then we'll go into a log and find out, exactly what they've been doing and everything like that. Okay, calculate the current time and all this stuff like that, and figure out exactly. This is more an analytical part, right? Time gathering to find out exactly what they're doing. Okay. Um, and then we have the detailed project information. If we scroll down to a particular project, depending on that account ID, um, we'll find out exactly more information pertaining to what's going on, right? Okay. So we'll close this. All right. And here, as you see, we have um, the project manager time log for project signed. So the project manager actually go out here and look at exactly what's going on, and then from there, they will make the phone calls as needed to find out, well, why this isn't done, and stuff like that. To make some type of inquiries, about the current resources, right? And we also have the commercial resources, right? Which people that we are soliciting, this is the marketing department, they go out and they contact these individuals or these companies and find out exactly if they need any of our services, right? And if they need, they may not, okay, but hopefully these persons be able to give them enough information so that if they need something, they will reach out to us, okay? Okay, so in here, we have here the different, this is different companies. I could, all this is test data that we worked with, and we need to figure out what they're doing, how they're doing it. There's a lot of other things, right? And figure out how can we work with them, and things of that nature. Okay, and then, like I say, we'll schedule an appointment. Right, we'll schedule an appointment for them, and then once we schedule an appointment, I haven't activated that scheduling yet because I can be hooked to a calendar. And then we'll schedule an appointment with them, and then once we do that, that appointment would be loaded so that that customer can be engaged. Right? All right. Now, like I said, all this is test data. Right, so I close this. Then we said pending current customers. These individuals are persons that we probably contact, and we want and there's a possibility that they want to know more about what's going on, and we just see what's going on before we move that client on to the next step, if they decide they want to engage in any type of business relationship with us. Okay. All right. So so that is that. So we go back to customer service menu. Then we got the project management. Okay, this time, and then we have the project management. Okay, then of course we have the budget. What are our budgets? working on whatever we're doing and try to figure out, okay, is it feasible for us to do this? We'll look at it. We'll look at the cost, how much the projected cost is. And then most of the stuff right here will be analyzed and be engaged by I'm not going to do that, you know. Um, Most of the stuff be engaged by the, accounting department. And they were the ones who would be contacting us and say, listen, you within budget, or what's going on with this customer? You've been working with this customer for X amount of time. What's going on? Things of that nature. Okay. Okay, so that is that. Close this. All right. So, like I said, we have all these different buttons, different operations, stuff like that. We can go into. Some of these things work. Some of them I haven't put anything behind them yet. And that's a working process. But the main thing is the new customer worksheet. Where is that once we, get a customer or someone that a pending customer, um, the consultant or the representative of our company, administrative person, will log the information in. And then once they log the information in, they put it out. There's like a service request. The service request would actually go out to that that queue. The business consultant will uh, reach out to that client to figure out what exactly they need, gather more information, so that that information can be dispersed to, if needed, to the project manager. Okay, so then you say submit for action. All right, and that's when the customer say, okay, we want to do this. You know, let's get this ball moving. Right. Of course, all of the information. You have to look at some of the other videos, early interviews, because I'm not gonna go through this right now. Okay. 4.3. Okay, and this right here will be um, building project team resources. Okay, and by this time we will, this customers actually be, decide they want to work with us, and the project manager will be in control of this, and the funding has already been applied, everything like that. Okay, and these right here are service requests, right? So we go back to this, and we update project information, reporting, client accounts menu, and etc. etc. So all these things, all these different buttons will have some type of administrative process. Okay, once you click them. Okay. So basically, what I'm trying to do with this whole thing is to make sure the client, well, the customers that we engage, get the information. Um, we issue the information out to the appropriate personnel that are working with us on a contract or have been engaged by us to do certain tasks. And we're paying them for their time so that we can keep things moving. All right. Okay. So I'm not gonna go too deep into this. This is just a strategy that we have. Um, and like I say, this is our outreach solicitation, call inquiries. And when we cold calling, we'll go out and look for different things, and then we'll contact these individuals with some type of marketing ploy, to find out if they need this, or call them and see if we can meet with them to see if we can help them in anything that they may be engaged in. They may be in some type of inquiries about them needing some additional assistance, and our name has been thrown out there, and we're just doing a follow up call. Okay. So if, and then we got to set your appointment, right? And, and do a new customer worksheet, and all these things will have a certain activity to keep us in a loop and keep them in a loop, okay, until they either become a paying client, or they say, well, we're not interested this time. But then at the same time, we always be doing follow ups, okay, to see what's going on. All right. Okay. So, again, that's about it. That's as deep as I'm going to take this for right now. Hopefully, this information has been very informative, and I'm trying to, I want to do things to make sure I stay on track to what's going on. Um, and also, like I said, I've created domain names and everything like that, for different departments. So as I erect these different, as my company grows, I can break these domain departments down to specific people that are working with us under identification number. Okay, because everyone have an ID card, everyone has employee ID number that we utilize to track everyone that's in our under our umbrella. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna go down some more. Let's see, is there anything else that I need to? Okay. Now, another thing, we need to build administrative funding process. What I mean by that is we need to find out how can we solicit companies or professionals, business professionals, to contribute funds into our effort. And in order for that to happen, we know there have to be a give and take type of thing. So we have to present something that will allow them to want to work with us. Okay, and it's gonna have to be based on the budget. Okay, the budget may be small or whatever. They may give us a small project and then see how we work out, and then move it into a bigger project. With more fundings involved. And then as the project grows, we supply them with more personnel. Okay, within their budget. All right. So those are the things that we are looking at right now. Okay. Okay, so build a funding process. And see, the reason why I come up with this, because the funding process, because you know, um, we need donations and investors. Okay, you know, our company need investors and things like that to help us continue to uh, to succeed. All right. So I have a couple of people that actually, make small donations, anything like that, but they're not over, they under a certain amount that, you know, we use them for buying material, keeping things updated, around here on our systems, and keep our applications updated, and things like that. So those type of administrative support funds, so that is very useful for us and for me to be able to operate um, within the boundaries of my budget. Okay. Let's see. So we got advertising, advertise program work, which we just started looking at. There's a lot of different things, that we are doing, and some of the things I have been working with. But what I'm doing right now is going over some things that I was working on, but I had to stop because I had other things I need to do. And now, since a lot of that information, or a lot of them tasks, has been cleared off my desk, I can start pursuing on some of the things that I put on the back burner. Okay. Okay. So that is it. Again, I would like to, you know, again, like I say, I would like to, thank you for
Joe's
listening
unlimited phone plan is just
and
$10 a month
staying
for the first
around.
6 months.
Okay.
That's $10.
And
Unlimited talk.
staying around and listening to us, listen to this. And I know that there's a lot of things going on, out here in the business world. So I know that we need funding. I know that we need clients. I know we need contractors and consultants, everything like that. And I need an administrative person that can assist me in my effort. Okay, so we need a good administrative person who can follow instructions and bring back results. Okay, so that I can push this effort forward. All right. Okay, so that's about it. Okay, I want to say thank you very much for coming out and listening to what we were presenting to you for our 2026 year. Hopefully, be able to close out a lot of these projects so that we can encounter and bring in more consultants and bring in more, clients. Okay. All right.